After delivering God's message to the Watchers, Enoch was taken into a vision that pierced the veil between earth and heaven. And suddenly, he was lifted from the earth. He was carried through realms unseen by mortal eyes, realms of fire, realms of ice, realms of pure brilliance. He stood within a house made of crystal, its floor like a frozen flame, its ceiling stretching beyond sight.
What place is this?
He entered a hall wrapped in consuming fire, but the fire did not touch him.
Narrator VO. He was led into a second house, greater than the first, and the door before him was open, a portal of blinding radiance. As he stepped through, the very ground beneath him dissolved into a terrifying spectacle. Narrator VO. It was a floor of lightning, and above it, a ceiling of fire. The air crackled with an energy so immense, so pure, that it threatened to unmake him entirely. Every nerve screamed, every instinct recoiled from the impossible sight.
Narrator VO. And the fear of the Most High fell upon him, an unbearable weight that crushed his mortal spirit. He fell upon his face, his strength utterly gone. Enoch, terrified. My bones are broken, my soul is melting. Narrator VO. In that moment of absolute surrender, a profound change began. The terror that had consumed him started to recede, replaced by an inexplicable calm that emanated from the very presence he feared. Narrator VO. For the Holy One strengthened him. He was being remade, prepared to stand in a place no mortal was ever meant to see. His fear was not a punishment, but a purification. And above the throne, the great glory sat.
I cannot bear this holiness.
The voice that spoke was not of thunder or of storm, but of a silence so profound it contained all sound within it. It was a presence that filled every corner of my being, a warmth that calmed the terror that had seized my soul. It emanated from the light, from the very heart of the great glory, and it knew my name.
Peace, Enoch. The fear that grips you is not meant for you. Let it pass. Rise and hear my words, for they are the purpose for which you were brought to this place.
Strength, not my own, flowed into my limbs. I rose to my knees, my head bowed, feeling the weight of a gaze that saw not just my trembling form, but the entirety of my life, my thoughts, my heart. I was an open book before the author of all things.
You have seen the dwelling of the great glory, a sight no mortal has ever beheld and lived. You have walked halls of fire and stood upon a floor of lightning. You have been brought before my throne not as one to be judged, but as one chosen to carry my judgment. Now you must return. Go to the watchers of heaven who have abandoned their high station, and say to them, you had heaven as your eternal home, a place of purity and light, and yet you chose the daughters of earth and the fleeting darkness of their world. You were spiritual, holy, eternal beings, living a life everlasting, yet you defiled yourselves with the blood of flesh, and in your lust you have begotten giants who fill the earth with violence. You have taught forbidden arts and revealed eternal secrets, unleashing a torrent of sin upon the world that was not meant for them. For this transgression, there can be no assent. For this defilement, there can be no forgiveness. They will petition and they will weep, but their spirits will never return to heaven. Therefore, you shall have no peace.
The vision receded, the heavens folding back upon themselves. I was lowered, not falling, but carried back through the celestial veil. The searing light of the throne room softened into a gentle luminescence, the air of eternity giving way to the familiar breath of the world. My journey was over, but my mission had just begun. I was returning to the earth, no longer just a man who walked with God, but a messenger entrusted with his holy decree. My feet touched the soft grass of the hill from which I was taken. A tremor ran through me, not of fear, but of the sheer overwhelming power I had witnessed. The glory of that place, the terror and the beauty, were now a part of me. And so chapter 14 ends, with Enoch, a mortal man, now carrying the eternal words of heaven. He bore the judgment of the Holy One against the fallen and the promise of righteousness for mankind. The image of the divine throne, a flaw like lightning and a voice of thunder, was burned into his spirit forever, a fire that would light his path for all his remaining days.